With the release of Pokemon Legends ZA on the horizon, I thought it would be interesting to look at a more forgotten aspect of Pokemon, the cries of different Pokemon. Every Pokemon has a unique sound, its cry, associated with it. Some cries sound amazing and give incredible depth to the Pokemon they're attached to. Other cries, well, not so much. But what better way to get a feel for all the cries of the region of Kalos than to rank them? The criteria I'm using to rank them is entirely based on how much I like the cry. Feel free to disagree and tell me which ones, in your opinion, I got wrong. It's really hard to have any objective measure of how good a Pokemon's cry sounds. With that said, I'll provide justification for why I ranked most of the cries where I did. So, starting from the very worst cry, Esper's cry is disappointing. The Pokemon Esper has purr in the name. That carries with it an implication that it purrs. Its cry, however, is, whatever that was, obviously not purring. The cry doesn't even sound good. I can't think of any redeeming qualities for this cry. Meowstic's cry is bad for all the same reasons Esper's is. It has meow in the name. It should probably meow. I'm putting it above Esper in the rankings because I think it sounds a bit better. With that said, both of these cries are awful. Slurpuff's cry is just kind of boring. Other things do the swoopy fairy noise a whole lot better. Swirlix is the exact same as Slurpuff in this regard, except for I think it sounds a bit better. I think in Generation 6, Game Freak was trying to pin down the identity of fairy types, and that led to a lot of them sounding boring and similar. Florges sounds like something, I guess. It's much better than everything below it, but isn't really notable and isn't really good in any way. And finishing off the squad of bottom 4 fairy types, Sylveon. It's just kind of generic cute noises, which there's a lot of. However, I'll give credit for the sparkle sound at the end, it sounds pretty good. The fire effect on Litleo's cry just sounds lazy. The cry as a whole feels lazy, just a noise and then a fire effect slapped on. I don't know how butterflies sound, but it's not like this. Spewpaw and Scatterbug both sound similar, and both sound really good. Pavilion ditches both of the trends that those two set, and sounds like something that fits a bit more with a rock-type crystal Pokemon. Nothing really notable about Skrelp's cry. Like, yeah, Skrelp would sound like this. A lot of Pokemon cries, especially for fairy types, can be described as generic cute animal noises, and Dedenne is quite possibly the biggest offender of this. It's just not interesting. Noibat has the same issues as Dedenne, but I think the generic cute animal noises are a bit better. Noivern's cry also builds on Noibat's cry, which is pretty cool. The other side of generic cute animal noises is generic loud noises, and Zygarde 50% falls perfectly into that category. I get it's supposed to be like earth shifting around, but I still don't think it's a very good cry. The echo effect sounds decent, but once again, generic cute animal noises. Go-Goat's cry is just Skiddo's cry, but worse. Mind you, Skiddo's cry is pretty good. Fletchender's cry can be summarized as annoying bird noises. While Dragalge's cry is kind of a generic loud noise kind of cry, the length of the cry is just chef's kiss. It goes on for far longer than I expected, and while it's still not a great cry, it is pretty notable because of that. Goodger's cry sounds just kind of okay, but it's like a splishy splashy sound that fits for a slug Pokemon. Generic bird noises that sound slightly better. Pancham's cry is pleasantly cute. I don't have anything else to say on it. So, regular Diance's cry has a pretty cool melody in it, but you can't actually hear it in its Mega's cry because of the echo effect. Outside of that, the background noise is pretty twinkly and fits well for Diancie, but it isn't very interesting. The fact that it's a worse Diancie really just drags it down. Bunnelby's cry is pretty cute, but just like Pancham, it's not really interesting. It works fine, but it isn't interesting. I don't know why I'm hitting on all the fairy type cries, but they're just mostly not good. This Pokemon is supposed to be a cover legendary, and its cry just kind of exists. I can quietly hear what I think is supposed to be a fire effect. Lackluster but fine. Hawlucha's cry is pretty inoffensive, but it doesn't really capture the feeling of Hawlucha. This is a matcha wrestler mon. Why does it sound like this? Greninja's cry is alright, but the bubble sounds that Froakie and Frogadier make have been decreased significantly within its cry. It sounds squishy. Tyrantrum's cry feels both too short and not powerful enough. This is supposed to be a T-Rex, it should sound explosive, but as it stands, it's still pretty okay. Flababy's cry is silly and goofy, it kind of reminds me of a slide whistle. Binacle has good bubble noises, but it would have been a lot funnier if they had two cries going at once for the two hands. Generic bird noises, but actually the fire background noise really makes this one shine. It's pretty good. Where Tyrantrum was held back by its cry being too short, Tyrant thrives off of it. It's a silly dumb dinosaur, so having a silly dumb roar fits it perfectly. Every time I listen to Malamar's cry, I want to rank it differently. It like halfway works as its cry, but also kind of doesn't fit it at all. Its ranking doesn't matter, because by tomorrow, I'll have thought of a different place to put it. Diance's twinkling sounds sound really nice, and if you listen closely, you can hear a melody at the end. I have to give props for how much Noivern's cry makes it sound like it's in combat. With that being said, the Pokemon with speakers for ears probably should have gotten something a bit more interesting. I might be hearing this wrong, but Carbing's cry has a very similar melody to the melody at the end of Diance's cry. This cry is good for more or less the same reasons as Diance's cry, except I think they do a better job of making Carbing's cry sound like a crystal. This might be confirmation bias, but Chespin's cry sounds just like a grass move would. Overall, a very good and cute cry. Floette's cry is fairly intricate, and it expands well on Flababy's cry. I think the cry fits very well for what the fairy type is, playful and mischievous. Just like Noivern, this cry makes Zygarde sound just like it's in the middle of an attack. This style of cry also fits Zygarde a lot better. Quilladin's cry has an almost forest-like rustle to it. It fits Quilladin really well. The boisterousness and bubbliness of this cry fit really well for this monstrosity. A cute and silly cry for this gremlin of a Pokemon. What a surprise, the keychain Pokemon sounds like a keychain. Bergmite's cry is just so cute and, for lack of a better term, shiny. The popping sounds in the cry really make it stand out. Skiddo is a certified silly goat, making silly goat noises. The Static and Helioptile's cry really ties it together. Other than that, it just sounds adorable. I'm not sure if it counts for this video, but I'm gonna rank it anyways. Floette Eternal Flower is more or less a better Floette cry. Chestnut's swooshing sound that I assume is its spiky shield coming out, the Orcish cry, this all really fits Chestnut well. A mixture of strong and metallic, Aegislash's cry sounds like it's gearing up for combat. A really great fit for this Pokemon. Every time I listen to Aromatisse's cry, it gets a little worse. I'm not really sure what it is about it that causes that, but it's still a really good cry. The mix of soothing and screeching really fits Aromatisse. Scatterbug's cry is so cute and squishy, like, it's just a little bug, just a little guy. It's a really good cry. Spupa really builds on Scatterbug's cry. Its cry is once again adorable bug noises. And the little swirl effect in the background sounds like the silk that Spupa would produce. While Gumi's cry may sound aggressive, it also gives the indication that this thing could never actually hurt you. Very cute cry. Pangoro's cry sounds just like a bear. It's kinda short, but I feel like that makes it better. It also sounds like the bears from Zoo Tycoon. Or maybe I just think that because I did use the Zoo Tycoon audio. Here's its actual cry. Froakie is a cute, silly little cry, not much to say about it. Yveltal's majestic screech goes so hard. This cry just exudes power. Frogadier's cry builds really well on Froakie's. The squishy noises are really funny, and it feels accurate to how Frogadier looks. This cry is very loud and obnoxious, but that fits for Zygarde Complete. This is the ultimate Pokemon of X and Y. It deserves to be loud. Okay, first off, I can swear I hear a plunger in Blade's cry. But besides that, this is a really good cry. While Honedge does a better job with the sheath sound effect, both cries are really good. Clauncher's cry really scratches my brain. Something about how it sounds just works for me. In contrast to the other two cat Pokemon, Pyroar's cry lives up to its name, being a majestic roar. Beyond that, the fire effect was implemented amazingly. Sliggoo's cry feels very cautious and timid, but also very slimy, which is very fitting for Sliggoo. Clawitzer's cry is amazing. The start is reminiscent of Clauncher's sound, before it transitions into the exhaust from its arm cannon. Fennekin's cry is a cute little fire sneeze, and well, what more could I ask for its cry? Delphox is easily the best cry of the fully evolved starters. It's both consistent with how Delphox looks, as well as sounding powerful. Gourgeist has two different cries, one for its super form and one for all of its other forms. Both cries are really great and very eerie, and fit well for a Pokemon that's noted to sound very creepy. Avalug's cry is insanely good. The low, powerful roar with the sparkles thrown in give off both the vibes of a towering ice monster and of toothpaste, which is what Avalugg will become if you hit it with a single special move. Either way, it's a great cry. Just listen to it. Listen to this cry and tell me this isn't one of the best cries in the game. It's earthen and obnoxious, and so funny. Diggersby's cry is a certifiable banger. Pumpkaboo's cry is very instrumental. It has a very different feel to it than most other cries. Just like with Gourgeist, this Pokemon has two cries, both of which are two of my favorites. Both intimidating and explosive. Volcanian's cry sounds a lot like a steam eruption, which is fitting for a Pokemon with the move of the same name. The creepy cry with the creaking wood in the background is perfect for Trevenant. What an insanely well-made cry. Amora's cry is full of majesty and emotion, a cry befitting of the remains of a long-dead dinosaur. While most of the cat Pokemon missed the mark, Furfrou has the perfect dog bark as its cry. Its cry asserts itself, without being overly aggressive. I mean, it's a dog, of course it's gonna bark. Hoopa Unbound delights with a devilishly evil laugh. It still has the chaotic frivolity of Hoopa Bound, but with the malevolence within rising to the surface. Also, does anyone else think that it sounds kind of like Flowey's laugh? Phantom's cry is so silly. I can't tell if it's scared of something or if it's trying to scare you. Knowing Phantom, it's both. So first it goes like, and I'm thinking, yeah, okay, this is pretty cute. But then it goes like, and I just start to smile. It's so cute. Heliolisk's cry just has so much character in it. The start of cute noises that morph into the shock that seems almost unintentional is such a perfectly designed cry for a normal and electric-typed lizard. This is what it would sound like if we started giving random lizards electric powers. So, on to the final cry. And in my opinion, the single best cry in all of Kalos. Amora's cry was already one of the best in the game. Aurorus's cry takes everything that worked for Amora and turns it up to 11. This tone echoes with regality and majesty, reminiscent of Aurorus's dual inspiration of dinosaurs and the Aurora Borealis. This cry is without a doubt the best cry in all of Kalos. Well, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, even if it's a far cry from what I usually do. Well, I've been Blip Exists. Hope you have a good rest of your day.